Hi, my name is Rick Sanchez. I'm with a company called Tractor Tip, and what we have for sale here today is a Caterpillar 953C crawler loader. We're going to talk about the mechanics of this particular machine in the first clip, the operating specs in the second, and we'll run it in the third. The serial number of this machine, Tank, where is it? It's on the other side. The serial number of this unit is, and that's tough to tell, the full serial number is CAT0953C. Looks like F boy X-ray 028. I'm gonna leave that last digit blank. I can't read it anyway. Price on a new machine like this these days is, I hadn't priced them, man, but I heard somebody say upwards of $350,000. Manufacturers, as far as manufacturers go, Caterpillar's #1 in the world of heavy construction mining equipment. That's not because they're cheap. They build good, solid, reputable, reliable machines that stand the test of time. This particular unit has got 7,070 hours on it. It weighs, with the ripper, 32,895 pounds. If you look on Ritchie specs or any of these, or the specs on this machine, they're going to tell you that the width of this machine is 7 foot 6 inches. The loader is the widest point, but that's actually a bigger than standard capacity bucket. The width of that bucket is 8 foot 3 inches. The transportation length from the front of that bucket at those teeth all the way to the curve of these rippers when it's in transport profile is 19.5 feet. As far as comparable machines go, Caterpillar is the only manufacturer who successfully sells and markets these machines all over the world. Komatsu built a 953. They still do, but it's not available in the United States. And then John Deere builds a 655C, but it's not really a John Deere. It's actually a Liebherr machine. As far as the history of this unit goes, this machine, like almost every machine we purchase, is an original owner Dallas, Texas machine. I say that because we do not work in a corrosive environment. We don't deal with salt. We're 300 miles from the ocean, and we're far enough south that the only salt we see is the salt on our kitchen tables. Just about every machine that we purchase comes from one of about 30 different manufacturers, 30 different contractors and municipalities here in the Metroplex. This particular machine comes from a good friend of ours, and he takes really good, he's a smaller contractor, he takes really good care of his equipment. This is the original paint on this machine. He uses it, he's actually a paving guy, so he uses this loader sporadically. Matter of fact, he hasn't really used it in probably 6 months, which is why he sold it to us. Like I say, he kept everything up to date on this machine. He actually over-serviced it, as he does with all of his machines. We've been all happy with all the machines we've purchased from that man, and it should be said that before we purchase any machine, my mechanics thoroughly inspect it, and then I go out and I inspect it before I write a check. As far as options go, this machine obviously has a ripper right here. It's an enclosed cab. AC blows cold. It's got 12-volt outlets in the cab. It's got auxiliary hydraulics here, and I'm not sure what these auxiliary hydraulics are for. Can you see those, Tank? Those two lines coming out.
Yeah, it's probably for like a clam.
Yeah, you're right, Tank. That's exactly what it's for. It's probably for like a clamshell bucket or something like that. I'm glad I got Tank shooting these videos because I forget about half of what I'm going to say. As far as the engine goes, this machine has got a Caterpillar 3126 diesel engine. Yields not 128 horsepower, and I don't remember how many gallon fuel tank this is, but whatever it is, I think I read that it'll run you 12 to 14 hours on single operation. This is hinged right here so you can blow out the radiator. This is the other side of your engine. All of the fluid levels on this tractor are where they should be. It's mechanically sound. There is absolutely not a single leak on this machine. Transmission runs through all the gears without hesitation. Top speed on this machine is 5.5 miles per hour. As you can see, this undercarriage is in excellent shape. It's probably about 85%. There's no leaks on the final drives. Final drives have got plenty of power. I'm going to dig it into a pile here and show that the tracks will, that's how I test track machines, wheel machines, actually all machines, is I run them into a pile or up against a stump or an immovable object. And that's a quick acid test for me to tell me that the engine is running well, the transmission's running well, the final drives are running well. If you put this thing up against an immovable object and it'll spin the tracks with its own weight, then it's chances are it's a pretty good tractor. So the hydraulics are strong. There's no cracks or welds anywhere in this work equipment. Like I say, this is the original paint job on this tractor. There's no deflection or any kind of problems in any of these pin locations. Those teeth right there are probably about 85–90%. This bucket, like I said, is 8 foot 3 inches wide at that cutting edge right there, or at this end bit. It's 48 inches high and it's 48 inches deep. Now a regular bucket on a 953C is 2 yards. And I'd be willing to bet you that this is like 2 1/3 yard, easily. The hinge pin height right here, if you were loading into a dumpster, is 10 foot. The breakout force for this tractor is 21,000 pounds. And the static tip load of this machine, so the static tip load, so the lifting capacity of this loader is limited by the static tip load, and simply stated, the hydraulics of this machine are so powerful that the machine, the whole machine, will actually tip forward before the hydraulics give out. So your lifting capacity is actually limited by the weight of the machine opposite this fulcrum point right here. So in this case, it's 24,000 pounds. These shoes right here are 20 inches. 20-inch pads. You got 9 foot of track on the ground. That'll probably yield you about a 6–7 PSI rating. What else, Tank?
It's got a battery disconnect on this side over here.
See, I told you, man. I don't know what I'd do without Tank. There's a battery disconnect. What else, Tank?
That's about it. Let's run it.
Come on, you can think of one more thing.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Anything wrong with the machine, Tank?
No.
I don't know of anything wrong with this tractor. It ties all the knots. We're gonna run it in the next clip.
1.
this is the inside of the cab. All the lights work. There's no error codes. This just shows that everything. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. So this is your engine RPM right here. This revs it up. That takes it down. This is your travel motor speed. Travel speed. This is your brake. You got vents all over. This AC is blowing nice and cold. There's your radio right here. Sounds like one of the speakers might be blown. This is your temperature control and your fan control. And your, like I say, this AC is blowing nice and cold. So that's a pretty nice machine. Well taken care of.